Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're taking a trip through the cosmos, exploring the wonders of our solar system.
I'm so excited to be here. We're going to uncover some pretty cool secrets about the universe, just like real space detectives.
It's going to be like that feeling of wonder you had back in third grade when you first learned about space,
Yeah,
but with a grown-up's understanding and appreciation for it all.
exactly.
So, to kick things off, did you know that it takes sunlight 8 whole minutes to reach Earth?
It's true.
And get this, Venus is actually hotter than an oven.
Wow.
So today, we'll be covering the basics: Earth, the sun, the moon, and those twinkling stars. But we'll be sprinkling in some pretty cool details. Let's start with our home planet, Earth.
Yeah, Earth is truly special.
It's the only planet we know of that can support life.
Right, and that's because of so many things, like its perfect distance from the sun, its atmosphere, and the presence of water.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is.
But what's going on beneath the surface? It can't just be dirt all the way down.
Oh, it's much more exciting than that. Imagine Earth like a giant jawbreaker candy with different layers.
Okay, a candy Earth. I like where this is going.
The outer layer, where we live, is called the crust. It's like the hard candy shell.
That makes sense.
Then comes the mantle, a gooey layer of hot melted rock. It's constantly moving, kind of like silly putty.
Wow. So what's at the center of our jawbreaker Earth?
That would be the core, a super hot ball of metal, mostly iron and nickel.
So Earth is like a giant layered ball with all this activity happening inside. But it's not just sitting still, is it?
Nope, it's constantly spinning, which we call rotation.
That's right. And that spin is what causes day and night.
The side facing the sun has daytime, while the other side experiences night.
It's like playing hide and seek with the sun. But on top of that spin, Earth is also moving around the sun, right?
Exactly. That's called revolution, and it takes a whole year for the Earth to complete one full orbit.
It's like taking a year-long lap around a giant racetrack.
That's a great way to think about it.
And because Earth is tilted on its axis, we get different seasons as we go around the sun.
You got it. That tilt means different parts of Earth receive varying amounts of sunlight throughout the year, which causes the seasons.
Imagine living at the very top or bottom of the Earth, like in the Arctic or Antarctica. They have 6 months of daylight in summer and 6 months of darkness in winter. Talk about extreme seasons.
Yeah, that would be something else.
Speaking of amazing things, let's shift our focus to the star of our solar system, the mighty sun.
Yes, the sun.
It's a massive ball of hot gas that's constantly burning, and even though it looks small from Earth, it's absolutely gigantic.
It is. You could fit over 1 million Earths inside the sun.
Wow, that's incredible. And all that burning produces light and heat that travels all the way to Earth, making life possible. It's like our own personal furnace in space.
It is. It gives us warmth and energy.
But the sun's not alone out there, right? It has a whole entourage of planets orbiting around it.
That's right. Our solar system has 8 planets, each with its own unique characteristics.
There's a fun mnemonic to remember the order of the planets. My very educated mother just served us noodles.
I love that one.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. It's a secret code for space explorers. Now, let's talk about Earth's closest companion, the moon.
The moon is our natural satellite. It doesn't make its own light, but reflects sunlight, which is why it shines.
I've always been fascinated by how the moon seems to change shape.
Those are the phases of the moon,
Oh, right.
caused by the moon's orbit around Earth and how its position relative to the sun changes how much of the reflected sunlight we see.
It's like a slow-motion dance as the moon goes from new moon to full moon and back again.
I like that analogy.
So we've talked about Earth, the sun, and the moon. Now let's turn our attention to those twinkling wonders in the night sky stars.
Ah, the stars. They're so captivating.
When we look at the stars, we're actually seeing light that has traveled for millions and billions of years to reach us. Some of them are even bigger and brighter than our sun, but they appear tiny because they're so incredibly far away.
Distance and size can be deceiving in space.
They definitely can. Have you ever noticed how some stars seem to form patterns or pictures?
Those are constellations. People have been using them for centuries to tell stories and find their way around.
It's like a giant connect-the-dots puzzle in the sky. Some of the most famous ones are the Big Dipper, Orion the Hunter, and Scorpius the Scorpion.
And there's one special star, the North Star, that always stays in the same place, pointing north.
It's amazing how people figured out how to use the stars for navigation long before we had GPS. And speaking of figuring things out, Let's talk about astronomers, those space detectives who study the universe.
Astronomers are scientists who use telescopes and other tools to learn about stars, planets, galaxies, and everything in between.
It's amazing to think about all the discoveries they've made and all the mysteries that are still out there waiting to be solved.
It really is. We've had some amazing astronomers right here in India. Did you know that back in ancient times they made some incredible discoveries, like figuring out that the Earth is round and revolves around the sun?
Really? That's incredible.
It is. They were way ahead of their time. Astronomers like Aryabhata and Varhamihira. And later, in the 18th century, Maharaja Sawai Jai Singh II built these awesome observatories called Jantar Mantar in different parts of India.
Jantar Mantar, I've heard of
They
that.
were like giant astronomical instruments used to study the stars and planets, and they're still standing today.
It's fascinating how people studied space long ago.
Yeah.
This is all so incredible, but we're just getting started with our exploration of the universe.
I know. There's so much more to see. It really is. We've had some amazing astronomers right here in India. Did you know that back in ancient times, they made some incredible discoveries, like figuring out that the Earth is round and revolves around the sun?
Really? That's incredible.
It is. They were way ahead of their time. Astronomers like Aryabhata and Varhamihira, and later in the 18th century, Maharaja Sawai Jai Singh II, built these awesome observatories called Jantar Mantar in different parts of India.
Jantar Mantar. I've heard of those.
They were like giant astronomical instruments used to study the stars and planets, and they're still standing today.
It's fascinating how people studied space long ago. This is all so incredible, but we're just getting started with our exploration of the universe.
I know, there's so much more to see. When we look up at the night sky,
It's easy to feel small,
yeah,
insignificant.
you're right, compared to the vastness of space. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Even though we're just a tiny part of this immense universe, we're also a part of something incredible.
That's a great way to put it. We're made of the same stuff as stars.
Exactly.
We're connected to everything in the cosmos in some way.
And that connection makes space exploration even more exciting. It's like we're learning about ourselves and our place in the grand scheme of things.
So where should we explore next on our cosmic adventure? Maybe we could take a closer look at some of the planets in our solar system.
That's a fantastic idea. Why don't we hop over to Mars, our next door neighbor? It's been in the news a lot lately, and there's so much we're still learning about it.
I've always been curious about Mars. It's called the red planet, right?
Right.
What makes it so red?
It's because of all the iron oxide on its surface, which is basically rust. Imagine a planet covered in rusty dust that's Mars.
Wow, a rusty planet. I wonder what it would be like to walk around on Mars. Do you think there could be life there?
That's the big question, isn't it? Scientists have been searching for signs of life on Mars for decades. They've sent rovers to explore its surface, and they've found evidence that Mars might have had liquid water in the past, which is a key ingredient for life as we know it.
So there's a chance that tiny Martian microbes might be hiding somewhere beneath the surface.
It's possible.
That would be an incredible discovery.
Absolutely. And even if we don't find evidence of current life, just knowing that Mars might have been habitable in the past is a huge deal.
It would mean that Earth isn't the only place in the solar system where life could have existed, which opens up all sorts of possibilities.
Speaking of possibilities, have you heard about the plans to send humans to Mars someday?
I have. It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie. Do you think it will actually happen?
I think it's definitely possible. It's a huge challenge, but with advances in technology and our understanding of space travel, I believe we can make it happen within our lifetime.
Imagine being one of the first humans to set foot on Mars. It would be like taking a giant leap for all humankind.
It would be an incredible moment in history. And who knows what we might find once we get there? Maybe evidence of past civilizations, maybe new forms of life, maybe resources that could help us sustain life on Mars.
It's mind-blowing to think about. Mars is like a whole new world waiting to be explored, full of secrets and mysteries.
And it's just one of the many fascinating planets in our solar system. Each one is unique and has its own story to tell.
Okay, I have to ask. Which planet is your favorite and why?
That's a tough one. I'm particularly fond of Saturn with its stunning rings.
Oh, yes. Saturn's rings are iconic. What are they made of anyway?
They're made up of billions of tiny particles of ice and rock, ranging in size from grains of sand to huge boulders.
Wow, it's like a giant cosmic disco ball. I wonder what it would be like to fly through those rings.
It would be a breathtaking sight, for sure. The rings are so vast and intricate, they would probably sparkle and shimmer in the sunlight.
It's amazing to think that something so beautiful can exist in space. It makes you appreciate the artistry of the universe, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And it reminds us that there's still so much out there to discover and learn about.
I'm already feeling inspired to keep exploring. What else is out there in the vast expanse of space?
Well, beyond our solar system, there are billions of other stars, many of them with their own planets orbiting around them.
So there could be other solar systems out there, maybe even with planets like Earth that can support life.
It's highly likely. In fact, astronomers have already discovered thousands of planets outside our solar system called exoplanets.
Wow, thousands of other worlds. Some of them must be pretty strange and amazing.
You bet. Some are gas giants like Jupiter, but much larger. Some are rocky planets like Earth, but orbiting much closer to their stars. And some are even rogue planets, wandering through space without a star to call home.
It sounds like there's an incredible variety of planets out there, each one a unique and fascinating world.
And that's just the planets. There are also stars of different sizes, colors, and temperatures. There are nebulae, which are giant clouds of gas and dust where stars are born. And there are galaxies, which are vast collections of stars, gas, dust, and even dark matter.
Dark matter. What's that?
It's a mysterious substance that we can't see directly, but we know it exists because of its gravitational effects on visible matter.
So it's like an invisible force holding the universe together.
Exactly. And we're still trying to figure out what it's made of and how it works.
It sounds like there's still so many mysteries to unravel in space. It's a good thing we have brilliant astronomers and scientists constantly exploring and making new discoveries.
Absolutely. Every new discovery brings us closer to understanding our place in the universe and answering some of humanity's biggest questions.
Well, this deep dive has certainly opened my eyes to the wonders of space. I'm feeling a renewed sense of awe and inspiration.
Me too. And I hope our listeners are feeling the same way. The universe is a vast and incredible place, full of beauty, mystery, and endless possibilities for exploration.
It really is mind-blowing when you think about how much is happening out there in space. Planets with rings, stars being born, galaxies colliding.
Yeah, it really puts things in perspective, doesn't it? It makes our everyday problems seem so small.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, I like to just look up at the stars.
Yeah.
It reminds me that I'm part of something so much bigger.
It's a great way to gain perspective and find some peace. It makes you realize that there's so much more to life than just what's happening here on Earth.
Exactly. And it makes me want to keep exploring and learning and never stop asking questions. Speaking of questions, what advice would you give to someone who's fascinated by space and wants to learn more?
That's a great question. Well, I would say, first and foremost, stay curious. Read books, watch documentaries, visit planetariums, and follow the latest news from NASA and other space agencies.
All great ideas. And of course, don't forget to just look up at the night sky whenever you get the chance. There's a whole universe of wonders waiting to be discovered right above our heads.
Exactly. Even with a simple pair of binoculars, you can see some amazing details on the moon, the planets, and the stars.
You know, if someone's really serious about pursuing a career in space exploration, what should they focus on?
Well, science and math are super important. Those subjects will provide a strong foundation for understanding the complexities of space.
That makes sense.
But also, don't be afraid to dream big. Who knows, maybe one of our listeners will be the first person to set foot on Mars or discover a new galaxy.
Now that's something to aim for. Keep looking up, keep exploring, and never stop believing in the power of human curiosity to unlock the secrets of the universe.
Well said. Our journey through the cosmos has been an incredible adventure.
It really has. We've learned so much about our planet, our solar system, and the vast universe beyond. From the fiery heart of the sun to the icy rings of Saturn, from the ever-changing phases of the moon to the twinkling stars that form constellations in the night sky, we've explored a universe of wonders.
And we've really only just scratched the surface. There's still so much out there to discover and understand.
You know, it's both humbling and exhilarating to realize just how vast and mysterious the universe truly is, but it's also a reminder of the incredible potential of human exploration and discovery.
It really is.
And as we continue to push the boundaries of space exploration, who knows what amazing things we might find? Maybe new forms of life, maybe the secrets of dark matter, maybe even a way to travel to other galaxies. The possibilities really are endless.
They are. And the best part is, the journey of discovery has only just begun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To all our listeners out there, keep looking up at the stars, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring the wonders of space.
We'll see you on our next deep dive.
Bye, everyone.